Hi, I'm Tiffany Erickson, and today I'm going to teach you about transformational grammar. What is transformational grammar? Transformational grammar provides a theory of grammar that attempts to account for the ability of native speakers to generate and process the sentences of their language. It is a type of grammar that describes a language in terms of transformations applied to an underlying deep structure in order to generate the surface structure of sentences that can actually occur. Overall, transformational grammar involves the use of defined operations known as transformations that produce new sentences from existing ones. Reeling in the rules. Transformational rules deal with adding, deleting, moving, and substituting of words. These changes take place through specific rules. Given a basic sentence, the students rested after their long trip, we can easily add a word, such as the college students, or we can add a word to the end of it. The students rested after their long trip to Europe. We can also delete words and make a new sentence. The students rested after their trip, or the students rested. Another way we can change the sentence is by moving the words. After their long trip, the students rested. And the last way to change this sentence is by substituting. The teachers rested after their long trip instead of the students. The other sentence is, the students partied after their long trip. They partied instead of sleeping. Structure diving. There are two types of structures, deep structure and surface structure. Deep structures deal with the underlying structure of a sentence that conveys the meaning of a sentence. Basically, deep structures determine the meaning. Surface structures are the superficial arrangement of constituents and reflects the order in which words are pronounced. Basically, surface structures determine the sound. The terms surface layer and deep layer refer to different levels that information goes through in the language production system. For example, imagine that you see a cat playing with a mouse. When you encode this information, you create a representation that includes three pieces of information: a cat, a mouse, and the action played. This information exists in the mind of the speaker as a deep structure. If you want to express this information linguistically, you can, for example, produce a sentence like, the kittens played with the mouse. This is the surface layer. It consists of the words and sounds produced by a speaker or writer and perceived by a listener or reader. You can also produce a sentence like, the mouse is being played with by the kittens, or the kittens and the mouse played together. Here, the order in which you mention the two characters, the surface layer, is different from the first sentence, but both sentences are derived from the same deep representation. There are three essential characteristics: the meaning or semantic interpretation determined from its deep structure, the pronunciation or phonetic interpretation determined from its surface structure, and the role of transformation, converting the semantically relevant level into the phonetically relevant level. Languages. What do these languages have in common? In fact, what do any languages have in common? The difference between languages are so diverse they destroy the possibility of a universal grammar, and so languages can only be learned by general intelligence. According to Noam Chomsky, in spite of surface differences, all human languages have very similar underlying structures. They all have phrase structure rules and transformational rules. They all contain sentences, and these sentences are composed of a subject-noun phrase and a predicate-verb phrase. Sentence structure. Grammaticality, the correctness in terms of grammar. It is possible to have a grammatical and meaningless sentence. For example, colorless green ideas sleep furiously. Although the sentence is grammatically correct, the sentence itself has no meaning. On the contrary, another type of sentence is meaningful but ungrammatical sentences, which have a clear meaning but an unacceptable format. For example, man the bit sandwiched thee. Although the meaning of this is clear, the format is unacceptable. This concludes transformational grammar.